death penalty is still applicable on discretionary maximum punishment of cases. This is according to Chief Justice Martha Koome speaking during the inaugural sitting at the Supreme Court of Kenya after she was appointed Chief Justice. Those facing charges against treason, robbery with violence, attempted robbery with violence can still be sentenced to death. Koome has, however, said offenders feeling aggrieved by the mandatory death penalties can appeal for a resentencing hearing. Caroline Soma with that story.
Yes, I can, Senior Counsel.
Chief Justice Martha Koome has today sat for the first time at the Supreme Court hearing cases since her appointment. Among the cases she handled was the famous Muruetetu case where two convicts, Francis Muruetetu and Wilson Mwangi, had been sentenced to death and appealed their judgment, terming it as unconstitutional. Koome, during the hearing, said death sentence judgments still stand on the most rare cases. However, offenders subjected to mandatory death penalties can appeal for a sentencing hearing.
For avoidance of doubt, this decision does not outrule the death penalty, which is still applicable as a discretionary maximum punishment. We therefore reiterate that this court's decision in Muruetetu did not invalidate mandatory sentences or minimum sentences in the penal code.
Muruetetu and his fellow convict judgment still stands. They are serving a life sentence.
The two petitioners we have since learned were presented before the High Court. Their resentencing was heard. Therefore, we make no further comments on them. They have already benefited from this judgment.
The course during hearing and judgment of murder cases include all offenders who have been subjected to mandatory death penalties and desire to be heard on sentence will be entitled to resentencing hearing. And if an appeal is pending before the Court of Appeal, the High Court will entertain an application for resentencing upon being satisfied that the appeal has been withdrawn. In resentencing hearing, the court must record the prosecution's and the appellant's submission under Section 329 of the Criminal Procedure Code, as well as those of the victims before deciding on the suitable sentence. An application for resentencing arising from a trial before the High Court can only be entertained by the High Court, which has jurisdiction to do so, and not the subordinate court. Other factors guiding the court include age of the offender, when one is a first-time offender, whether the offender pleaded guilty, the character of the offender, manner of the offense, remorsefulness of the offender, among others. Koome has also assured Kenyans of independence during dispensing of judgment as directed by the Constitution. Caroline Suma, Switch TV.